part of our build-up to Nelson Mandela Day, today the Nelson Mandela Foundation, along with its partners, is in Mvezo, rooted in the methodology of the Transit Walk Dialogue, which centers communities' experiences as well as knowledge. Today, we focus on one of our pillars for Mandela Day, being the planting of indigenous and fruit trees. The theme for Mandela Day this year is the intersection between climate change and food security. As such, we've identified 3 cardinal pillars. The first is community and home-based gardens, understanding the need for members of the community to cultivate their own food in order to address the issue of food security. The second, the planting of indigenous and fruit trees. And of course, this highlights the intersection between climate change and food security, with a particular focus on fruit trees. The last pillar then looks at positive climate action. Having seen what happened in KwaZulu-Natal and here in the Eastern Cape, we understand that there is a need to take action and reduce our carbon footprint.
In this school, what we are trying to impart on learners is that strive to reach your full potential, but in doing so, never lose sight of where you're from. Always be anchored from where you're from and be of service in the environment you came from.
It is the Nelson Mandela Foundation's global call to ensure that because Madiba dedicated 67 years of his life serving humanity, we should be able, in honoring his legacy, to dedicate 67 minutes of our day doing good in the communities we live in.
We are very much privileged to be afforded an opportunity by Green Development Foundation, Nelson Mandela Foundation, and Nelson Mandela University. To us, it means a lot. We are also inspired by the theme that says, do what you can where you are. And the trees that we have planted today are the trees of hope. It is the hope that kept Madiba standing. It is the hope that contributed to his resilience, and he never gave up. So if we are planting the seeds of hope for this school, we are hopeful that all the challenges that we have expressed will come to an end. We are hopeful that it is through partnership with different stakeholders that have come to share our cries and challenges that we can prosper. And what inspires us most are the partners that have just come here. We are an agricultural school, so when we talk about Green Development Foundation, we talk about us. We are a school that have to produce academics because we're building leaders. So if Nelson Mandela University is here, and then over and above, Nelson Mandela Foundation is our legacy. So if we are connected with as 3 potential partners, I think we can go into bigger heights. So as a school, we're very happy.
The tagline for Mandela Day this year is do what you can with what you have where you are. And this speaks to different members of society at different levels. We're saying to individuals, plant where you can, whether it's a small patch in your garden or it's a bigger community garden. We're saying to corporate partners, support initiatives that speak towards combating the issue of food security by investing in community-based gardens. And we're saying to community-based organizations that are doing the work, continue to do the work as we try and support you on this journey. Today is the 18th of July, and we are in Zwide, in the Eastern Cape. We are marking Tata's birthday. And as we reflect on the day, where we took a transit walk dialogue through the community, we are reminded of the power of collaboration and co-creation. Our delegation walked through the community of Zwide, talking and discussing about the different issues that face the community. We started in Zamugukanya Primary School, where we planted trees within that area. We learned about the challenges that face the primary school and saw different ways in which we can band together to assist them. We then moved onto a public facility known as the swimming pool that is unfortunately not functional at the moment. We heard that the borehole has a number of problems and understood that the community would like to get that facility functional again. we moved on to home-based gardens, where we saw beautiful produce at the hands of members of the community of Zwide.
But there's no turning back. I think we have to stop, the kind of one-stop type of interventions that universities have grown accustomed to over many, many decades. That must stop. When we engage with communities, we work with communities, we walk with communities, we co-travel with communities, we must ensure sustainability of the work that we do. For that very reason, our university is reorienting itself to be socially embedded within our society, within our communities, so that these projects can take a life of its own, and develop sustainability matrices, that can last, very long into the future.
The foundation is indeed about creating partnerships, whether it's here or in other parts of the country, or with other countries in the world, with the United Nations and so on. So it is our job to create spaces for conversations, which is why we have our annual lecture, where we invite very important people who have influenced and made a positive impact on the world to come in and speak to us and tell us what they think about the world today. And we are looking forward to Prime Minister Motley later this year, who was said to be one of the 10 important people in the world today. And we are so lucky to be able to get her to come and speak. So that's our I think that part of the heart of our job is opening those connections, creating conditions for dialogue, creating conditions to bring people together to speak and converse and share ideas.
We concluded our transit walk dialogue at this site, which is an eco garden that has been established by the Zwide Development Forum. We planted fruit and indigenous trees and also heard about some of the plans that the Zwide Development Forum has for this garden. Upon the conclusion of the Transit Walk dialogue, we sat to hear the thoughts and insights of the community.